Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We're getting going in just a moment. I know this is much earlier than I normally would stream, actually. Be going out later tonight, so I thought, well, I've got some time free now. Might as well get it out there. And then at least we can actually, possibly end the turn today, actually, which should be quite good. Get the turn out there. And then obviously give THG some time to get going with it, too. Hello there, Carl. How you doing there, my friend? It's good to see you as always. Okay, so we did more or less decide our strategy when it does come down here to New Caledonia. Hello there, Lander. Good to see you, my friend. Yep, so we more or less decided upon our strategy down here in the south, actually, which is quite good. At least we do have a general idea of how we're going to approach the situation. And we'll have to hope for the absolute best here, really. I don't think we really have much in the way of choice there. It is going to be interesting to see how many forces the Allies maybe have here at New Caledonia, but I'm sure we'll find out in due course, really. It's one of those things. It's like, of course, he's been able to predict the fact that the operation has been on its way down here south for some time. Now, due to the fact that we did obviously delayed by quite a few days, actually, to a degree, we delayed and we accelerated in different parts. Like, the carriers were accelerated. I did anticipate having a little bit more time here to rest at KYJ, but the timetable has advanced for the carriers to a degree. Though the actual landings have obviously been pushed back quite a few days, as we originally were going to be pushing down here to Fiji, but obviously plans changed since then. Hello there, Marius. How you doing, my friend? Greetings from Iceland. That's pretty cool. See, Iceland's a place I'd like to visit one day. It looks pretty amazing. Okay, so we do see a few ships over here. We do see another 2 ships. Well, there's apparently 2 other ships that have been sighted, but we don't have any sort of classification for. So we are going to have to obviously anticipate some kind of action here. Now, let's take a look at this. We do currently have here in the area 3 submarines, the I-15, I-25, and I-170. Now, I-15 did obviously take some damage over here. She's still able to make progress. Her weapon systems were damaged, and she has lost about 2 knots of speed. But she's still able to fight, though to a low degree she did obviously lose quite a bit of munitions there. So, that's a shame, but we can still make use of her. I think, yeah, I think we'll keep the 3 submarines here locked down. I think what we might do, potentially to try and grab some of them here, is possibly patrol outside of the port here and around, try and pick up on them, really, keep our submarines moving in the area, try and just obviously anticipate where they might in fact go. Hello there, Anno, how you doing there, my friend? And down here to the south as well. I've been spending the last, I don't know, I'd say, yesterday and today, really, kind of thinking about what do we do if this situation does go wrong? How do we actually move on? Because the thing is, we don't have to take any of this. We don't have to. We can achieve our goals through other means, and that's something that we always have to remind ourselves of. I mean, for instance, we already do have Survive over here, which is a level 1 airbags, and it also does have a level 1 port here, which is actually under our control at the moment in time. So we do always have that fall back on if necessary, and it would allow me to actually project control of the air from here, in, well, at least over the Samoa Islands at the very least, and potentially over Fiji as well. We can see plenty of activity over here. We are going to move our submarines really towards the south here to try and prevent them from ideally running away to Australia, which is more than likely going to happen here. I'd imagine he's probably going to be trying to get his ships out of here, as he knows it's not a good situation. The good news is we do have the approach here to the south that will be actually covered here. Hello there, Commissar Roach. So for those of you who are not aware of Commissar Roach, he's a fine arse YouTuber. I would definitely recommend checking him out on YouTube. Does some really nice 40k stuff. Big fan. Indeed. Right. Hi the hell out is ports near the islands. I don't know what that means. Okay, just gonna turn the music down here just slightly. There we go. Okay. So what we are going to do here then is move our submarines around Fiji itself. Now this submarine's actually rather slow. I think it's one of the ROs. Yeah, RO 64. Try and engage with the enemy. Okay. Move over here. Right, do not linger at this first location. I want you to move on to the next one, actually. How goes Operation No? Indeed. Well, we do have, obviously, our plans over here for New Caledonia. What we're doing here at the moment is actually moving our submarines around here, trying to pick up on the enemy shipping movements here. Another thing you can do is place those subs near his home ports. I have a feeling he's gonna, yeah, more than likely. Oh, hit. Right, okay, that makes more sense. Hello there, Honoris. How you doing, my friend? How many forces do you have invading? Grading for Noumea? I'm gonna assume you mean invading. Mean for the landings here at Noumea. We have about 5,500. Well, about 5,000 here in this area. We do have another 1,000, 2,000 over here. About 1,000 front-line troops, second-line troops as well. About 1,000. We have a further 5,500 forces out here towards the north, and obviously we do have artillery and armor on truck here at the moment, which is quite good actually. Now we do have a few AA machine guns over here. They're only 7.7, so they're nothing particularly amazing, are they? We do need to look at somehow getting fighter cover over here to the Marsh Islands. I think even if it is a A5M4s, I think I'd rather have some sort of opposition to a potential allied raid, just because at the end of the day, if we don't oppose it, it does mean he's going to be able to just, yeah, scot-free. If I take a look over here then. So the Naval Fortress, it is armed with some 13.2mm Type 93 AA machine guns. That's not too bad, at least it is some form of AA, which is not a bad thing here, really. Don't worry about it, my dude. And what will you do with Kidabutai after this? I think what we'll do is we'll really take a look at the situation as it develops. I'm praying that he doesn't actually remain... well, I'm praying that the latter half of Kidabutai, basically a Karga and Karga, are not detected. If they remain undetected, well, if they actually slip out of his detection, I'd be very, very happy. The reason for that is, if he's only seen partial, well, elements of the actual carrier force, he may stay his hand to a degree. It may be that, if we actually, I mean, this is it, we do need to figure out where his carriers are. So we are going to have to deploy additional search capacity to probably Wake, the Marshals, and we already have it at Tarawa, but I think probably some over here to Wake, and obviously some additional here to the Marshals could be quite good. We need to figure out where his carriers are. It might be that potentially we, it's an interesting thing, really. We have to really explore the situation as it develops. I think the difficulty here is if a American carrier force does launch towards the Marshals, it might be a case of just damage mitigation more than anything. It might be that this turn we look at what we can actually get out from KYJ. And it's not going to be an easy situation either way, really. Right, mine layer tender here. Do we have mines here at KYJ? I don't actually have mines here at the moment. So I do have 6 flak guns over here, then that's good to see. We do have RO61, which is obviously low on fuel there. Okay, we do have our patrol boats. What do we actually have in KYJ itself? There's not too much here, really. These units, well, these forces could be moved out of the area. It may be that we actually do that potentially this turn. We could escort them and have them make way for a truck more than likely. Which is probably not the worst idea. For example, these submarine tenders I should really get moving anyhow. Well, we have just the one over here. But the destroyer tenders, we do have 2 of them here as well. Minesweeper. Yeah, we do have a tanker over here. Only a small tanker. I mean, these guys are covering it, well, actually carrying supply here. Yeah. Let's take a look then. So, support. I'll put the Ondo in there as well. And the Akashi is actually quite fast. And she's very important there. She's a auxiliary repair. So she could be put to some use. I think what we might end up doing here then is potentially having them move back towards truck. I'll have you in a separate force. We'll look for something that's about similar sort of speed. I mean, what I could do here is I could actually have them refuel from each other and then move out. Obviously, they're not going to have too much movement. I mean, the thing is, we have no idea when he might have actually set out from Pearl Harbor, if he's indeed there. So, I think we should probably get moving. There's not much over here, but obviously I wouldn't like to see it actually just devastated. Right, send the tanker here as well. We'll take these patrol boats with lower range. Well, lower speed, I should say. Okay, that's not too bad then. Though... I'll place these patrol boats in here as well then. Yep, no fuel available. Undock. I mean, the Ondo needs to get moved out of here. Okay, what we're going to do here then is... minimal refuel. What I'll do first of all, though... Right, so support is what I'm looking for here, so support... There we go. So we do have these forces also remaining behind here at the moment. We also want the Akashi... Yes, there we go. We'll put in the patrol boats with the actual higher speed there. Okay. So we're going to go with a tactical refuel then. Right. So you've taken that fuel from elsewhere. Wow. Tactical. We'll refuel out at sea next turn. We do obviously have to bear in mind this submarine over here. We have spotted it, obviously, as we can see it. And let's take a look over here, then. So obviously we do need to have something of an exodus to truck. Have ASW patrols of the ships moving out to truck. If the subs are detected, will allow them to get away securely. Well, the thing is, we already know what the submarines are. It's going to be mostly luck for us to get out without being at least harassed. I do have some fuel over here in about midway. 3,100 units of it, which is not bad, really. So let's see here, then. So if I set them to move towards truck... Right, that would have us heading through the actual danger zone there. So what we'll do then is we'll place a waypoint. I'll have them move... I'd say south here at first. Hello there, good man, good to see you. Yeah. We'll have the fuel if we obviously refuel at sea, and then also be able to refuel completely at truck. Right, we'll keep you in reserve actually, because you could actually be quite handy. I'll have you dock for the time being, just to repair that small amount of damage there. Okay. He may or may not actually see these ship movements. Use your bombers to cover your convoys. Well, they're already running ASW, so there's not particularly much more I can do for it, really. Right. Yeah, you're right, Carl, but we are doing everything we can here. The bombers are already running the ASW. Well, the G3s are. The G4M1s are running naval attack at the moment. Hello there, Alexis. How you doing there, my friend? Yeah, I'd say the One Pacific videos, at least this series, is far superior to the One East videos I've done in the past. And this is it. They're quite old at this point. I'd like to probably do something with them in the future, but we'll have to see. Well, the thing is, we don't know where these submarines might be moving, so we'll continue with the actual random pathing. I mean, you can imagine the range is only like a half of what they're actually doing as a long range, so we'll have them run over here, because at the end of the day, we don't know if there's any more submarines in the area. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but there could be more, and I'd imagine there will be more. Okay. We'll have the G4s run the ASW as well then. Ah, thank you very much there, Alexis. That's appreciated. Okay, so we'll increase the amount running ASW here. Well, actually, no. We'll keep it about 30%. I don't want to have them fatigue too much. See, I have so many G3 M2s, it's unreal. So many. Right, using bombs. Using bombs, okay. Okay. Now, what I could do here is draw from a reserve of the H6K4s. If I draw them from the reserve, they'll probably be active within about 2 days. Maybe, yeah, maybe about 2 or so days. Maybe less. It might be worth doing that. Fatigue's not too bad. I mean, what do we actually have here in terms of support? The thing is, we do have some actual engineers now, which is quite handy. So at the moment, I am just starting to expand the actual airfield. The good news here to bear in mind is that the actual airbase itself, well, the actual island itself does have some fortifications, only level 4 fortifications, but the fortifications will make a difference, thankfully. So that's quite nice. It definitely will help us out. Can you guys hear the background music, by the way? I'm not seeing it actually registering here on the desktop audio. That's strange. Oh, no, then it is. Strange. Okay, yep, yeah, that's looking good, okay. Right. If we take a look at what we actually have over here, so obviously we have the torpedo ordnance, which is fine. We do have the element here of the Maizuru 2nd SLF, so not really particularly much. The base force itself. More 13.2mm AA machine guns. We only have one, it seems, 40mm AA gun, so not particularly much there. Let's take a look at the actual database here, then. So then, Diligent. Yeah, things are going alright for us, to be fair. We are just beginning our operations down in the south. We did have some success with our submarines again last turn. Though then is the real danger, very real danger, that THG is actually going to be striking at the, well, the Marshall Islands in the next couple days. Right. Japanese aircraft, aircraft weapons, anti-aircraft, okay. Was it the Type 93 AM machine gun I'm looking for? Hello there, Daniel. How you doing, my friend? I don't know if it's actually going to be listed as like Type 93 or... No, it doesn't seem so. Is it even listed as Type 93? Or is it just... Hold up. Oh, the... oh, we do have... Oh, we don't actually. Seems you're lacking it. I suppose they've probably been transferred over here to Talawan, actually. The 8cm and 12cm guns are dual purpose. Right. I mean, this is what I'm hoping for, really, is the fact that the naval fortresses might actually have some defense that could be very handy. Oh, yes, they are dual purpose guns, aren't they? Nice. Yeah, I mean, that's typically the case. I do bloody miss the thing I'm looking for. Right, so I'm looking for the 13.2mm. Yep, there's absolutely airplanes in this game. To be honest, they're probably like the second biggest component, if not one of the biggest components. So for example, you can see that we do have our carrier groups out here. So if we take a look, we can see that we have 267 aircraft aboard here. If we take a look, we have... see, I'm actually kind of tempted to actually take the A5M4s over here and actually have them transfer back to the Marshall Islands. I think it might be the best case for us to get additional forces out here. Well, those 25mm AA guns are absolute garbage. Not sure if there's a way to replace them, but that's good to know. Yeah. See, the thing is, we do have a fair few guns over here, so 29 guns over there. K1J, 39 guns. We need to look at actually moving more AA out into the actual specific. Decent AA, really. Though, I suppose the risk is going to be over here to Wake. We need to get these ships moving here pretty quickly, actually. Right, you're unloading at the moment, but we need to be moving pretty quickly. You're unloading as well. There's a lot there to be unloaded. Cannot dock, you're just... Right, well actually, considering here that most of these guys... Let's see here then. So the, Yazuka. Have you then on your own? Right, so I can't actually dock you, so I wonder if there's actually ships that are already docked here. I do have a destroyer and a destroyer tender. Active ships. Yeah, there's land combat as well. Yeah, you're still being repaired here. No repair. Okay. Right, so you'll be ready again in a day. Yeah, that's true. I don't think we have... let's see. There must be something docked here. You could dock, but obviously, actually, you are still unloading, but you're only unloading supply here. That's just supply. These are the actual troops aboard here, then. I think what we'll do here, then, is... what size port is this? This is a size 1 port. So, obviously, it can't really handle all of this unloading all at once. The supply situation could be sorted out later on. Right, so we have these AMCs on their way. We need to get them really out of here further from the action. We do have some distance here, but it's not going to be much. We'll have them make their way to truck. Yeah, they're not really particularly going to have the fuel for that. So we'll have to refuel them along the way, really. So we'll have to do that, obviously, by having them stop at one of these ports over here. Or, obviously, sucking... well, siphoning fuel from other ships, really. It's not particularly encouraging to think that they can't make it under their own steam all the way. But it is some distance, and they obviously are a little bit lower on fuel than we would have liked. We'll have to do our best, though. Okay. What I'll do here, then, is, well, in reality, what I'll do... Yeah, that's 1,800 tons of supply, that's fine by me. So what we'll do here, then, is we'll take... right, so you're still unloading some troops over here. How many do you actually have aboard? 2 guns and 248 troops. Okay, you can stay here. Hello there, Joseph. How you doing, my friend? Looks like you're unloading just supply. Okay, that's fine. Cancel that. Right, and you appear to just have supply here as well, then. That's fine. Hello there, Mars. It's been a long time. It's nice to see some Wolfpack S strategy yield some success. Yeah, indeed, right. I've been wanted to ask what are your plans if the troop numbers and Numera are expected than, well, higher than you expected. Well, this is it. I mean, I was discussing that not too long ago, really, what we're going to be doing. And this is it. We have to bear in mind that we don't have to really take any of these islands, we can always back off if necessary. Which would be hard work, but it could be done. I think we'll have to take things as they come, really, for the most part. I would think by now, after 3 weeks, DHG has marshaled some kind of up-war task force somewhere to counter you. Yeah, more than likely. Which is what we imagine will be coming from potentially Pearl Harbor if his carriers are indeed there. So what we're doing here really is starting to prepare for a situation of which there's carriers on the way, so we're going to try to pull back some shipping from these islands out here. I mean, we could have it head towards Track, which is obviously the closest destination, the one that really is best suited, as obviously it does have all that fuel there, which is quite handy. Yeah. So we'll pull out over here. Definitely not full speed. Mission speed, thank you very much. You're still unloading some elements of the base force over here that's fine by me. I do have a destroyer here. You just have supply on board, so what I'm going to do here then is put the Taiyu Maru. So Taiyu Maru, there we go. It looks as though, yeah, we do have some additional forces over here, quite a few of them to be honest. These ships are very slow. It's going to be a very, very tight schedule because at the end of the day, if the carriers are on the way, they might be already on their way here now as we speak. We did see warships over by Johnston, so this is a difficult time really. I mean, Wake is in a vulnerable position. Though, what I think I might do is actually have... I mean, this is it. Do I actually transfer bombers out here, or do we, We'll see. We're not sure how you can set up your version of Tokyo Express. Eventually, you will need to. Yeah, we'll have to obviously do this. We are taking control of certain islands, which is quite good. Carriers are most likely at Pearl, so I say place systems between the Marshalls and the Hawaiian Islands would be a good idea. Yeah, I mean, what I'm going to do here is probably shift these submarines to really cover this area, Pearl Harbor. Will you plan to hunt and sink as carriers? The Allies get carriers and ships at faster rate, and everybody... yeah, that's what we're going to be trying to do. But the thing is, we have to avoid really chasing him. At the end of the day, he will come to us no matter what. If we chase him, then we do forego the actual control of the tempo. Oh yeah, I'm absolutely aware. Don't worry about it, my friends. I mean, that is where the Air Force is also going to be coming in handy, really, for that. We can't rely purely upon the Imperial Japanese Navy, as obviously it's going to be quickly outclassed and outsized to a degree. I mean, the Americans already have a technological edge over us in the fact they obviously have radar, which is really bloody nice. I'm really quite jealous of that. Let's take a look at what we could actually move here, then in particularly, well, when it comes to actual fighters, then let's see. Yeah, he could move at full speed. Well, I mean, yeah, he could really do that as well. I mean, that's the scary thing as well. But the thing is, he would be using a lot of fuel there. He doesn't have a lot of information, so I don't think he'd be wanted to charge into the Marshalls. I think he will be somewhat worried about potentially carriers. I mean... See, I don't have a huge amount of fighters, really. The two carriers that were split from Kidabutai, could they be raised to the islands to drop off their fighters? And we could have the actual fighters transferred from Kidabutai over to the Marshalls without much issues. Obviously, they could fly under their own steam. For example, I could move, and I'm considering actually moving the A5M4s, but I would like to actually have the A5M4s to actually secure our holdings down here. So today, if we don't secure this and we're actually running back to cover our tail, then that's going to hurt. I think in the end of the day, we do have to accept that there's probably going to be some losses over to the Marshall Islands, but I don't think it's anything that we have to worry about too much. I think the pain he could inflict down here at the Marshalls isn't really going to be comparable to the pain that we could inflict down here. So we don't have to overreact. We have to react appropriately, but there's no need to race back here to the Marshalls. If he's going to strike, he's going to strike. Do you think your 2 CVLs and 2 CVs are enough to deal with the Royal Navy CVs he will get soon? Yeah, they're fine for the time being. I mean, I know he'll only have a Hermes at the moment in time, but she's only like a 20-knot ship. The beauty is, obviously, we do have the aircraft in the area of Asia. And obviously the geography does work to our advantage here. We also do have submarines here. It's not so much over here in the South China Sea, or really in Asia, that we need to worry about his carriers to a big degree. It's obviously going to be out here in the Pacific. The allies do not have to come for you, they only need to reinforce Numea and Suva so as to delay you. What I mean basically is the allies will have to take these islands back. He will have to take these islands to actually advance upon Japan and actually bring the war to a conclusion. So he will have to come for us at some point in the future. But yeah, we can see that he's actually reinforcing Numea as we speak at this moment in time, though we will be hitting these ships next turn, so that, ideally we do sink a few thousand. I mean, it'd be nice if we could sink some troops there. We'll see how the situation presents itself, but I think for the most part we are going to have to just hold our nerve and really avoid wasting time with our carriers. We could spend days actually travelling back to the Marshalls and not catch him, so I don't think it's particularly wise. Hopefully we can get into Indonesia before oil becomes a critical factor. Yep, absolutely right. We have obviously captured 2 sources of oil and, well, refineries over here. Oil and refineries over here at Miri and Brunei. We do have plans obviously to be striking, well, we do have plans in motion to strike towards the south coast of Borneo. Which will be fine. The subs near the coast of America, please place them outside his major shipyards. They are already outside his major shipyards. I mean, obviously we can't have them just outside because obviously they'll get picked up. So we have them running a random patrol here outside for the most part, just outside. Close, but not right on top. As you can see, it's in that area. Yes, but we was wondering, with Fighter Escort, if he attacks the Marshals, is this the point where you could damage or batter carrier to? Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's one of these things of where we could send out the carrier, sorry, the actual bombers out alone. But honestly, they would be mauled by by his fighter cover. It could be one of those of where we might be able to sink one of his carriers, but we might end up losing our best, well, the cream of our pilots and a lot of aircraft that would take time to repair outside here. And it's not even guaranteed that we'd score a hit, so I think we do need to have some fighters to actually, even if it's just A5M4s, I think at the end of the day, I think if they were able there to at least escort the bombers in, at least they could actually buy the bombers some time to actually get on target. So what I'll do here then, see what I'm considering here. I think the best move we could make is probably taking the A6M2s from a low star in Malaya over here. At the end of the day, that's over 20 zeros I can actually have moved out down that way. My grandpa worked at one of those West Coast shipyards, so you might... yeah, indeed. I can imagine. Any plans to reduce the length of your Burma front? Take on a goon. The longer the wait, the more he fortifies Burma. Yep, absolutely. But the thing is, we have to... Well, I'm concentrating on Malaya first and foremost. We have suffered over here in Malaya, so obviously we do need to make up for that time and succeed here. In the future, we will obviously start pushing towards Burma. I do have a small Royal Thai Army division on its way. Very small. But the good news is we are starting to make some good gains here in China, which is quite good. What we'll do here really is, particularly down here in the south, for example, should be able to start pushing on him soon in this area. Once we push him back to a certain degree, I might be able to actually start to transfer some additional troops out. I do need to actually speak to THG in regard to clarifying the rules for actually troops in China and troops out of China, as... well, somebody did tell me that, well, I believe it was Infinite Monkey that made me aware that supposedly some of their house rules are you can transfer a unit out of China, but obviously you have to pay the political point cost to actually transfer it from the command in China to command outside of China. So it was a mistake to load the A5s onto the CVs? No, it wasn't a mistake. We loaded them on board the carriers here to actually build up our combat air patrol, which they will do. I'm thinking what we'll do here is then have the 24 or 25 A5M4s actually take possession, well, take position over New Caledonia. So at the end of the day, I do plan on leaving those A5M4s down here to make sure that we can actually cover New Caledonia in the future. Should I say, I really appreciate the time you take to answer everyone's questions. Oh, thanks, man. That's appreciated. Okay, let's see what we can do here with the zeros from a low star. I think this is going to be what we have to do here, then, to actually get fighter coverage out there. What is going on in the Philippines? In the Philippines, we did see Manila fall last turn. Manila fell in a day, which is a good job. We have just moved a division into Clark, but I do worry for this division. I think it could be quite the bloodbath. He does have a lot of forces there. So I might actually take a look at actually reassigning a commander who might be superior. We do have some very good commanders here. It would cost us 7 political points, but I think at the end of the day it might be worthwhile to actually have a commander with some really good land combat, just because I think at the end of the day we need to hold on. So what I'm going to do here then is actually just find my guide for choosing leaders here. So 1 second, how to choose leaders. Right, here we go. I think we want somebody who, I don't know, who can just at least, yeah, assign unit leaders using the following orders of priorities. Land skill influences the attack and defending LCU, assault value, fire accuracy, experience gain, okay, inspiration, yeah. Right. Assault value for attack and defense. Okay, so we need land skill and inspiration then for the most part. So if we take a look over here then, so land skill... right, so 76 over here. But you do have... oh, right, it's inspiration that we want. Leadership's okay, but it's inspiration. We do have a very inspirational commander here at 70. And his land combat isn't too bad at 73 either. Though 69 and 76, that's looking pretty good there. So we'll have Morioka Susumi, or Susumu. Yeah, Susumu. We'll have him take command of the 16th Division there. Yep, there we go. So we've increased the skill of the commander here. Ideally, that should actually make a difference when it comes to the actual sword value. Now, sword value is 431. I should have taken a look at that to see what it was beforehand. We do have a little bit of planning here. We won't have any preparation as... well, obviously we've just arrived in the area. It might be that we use... To be honest, I'm just considering something here as well. We do have a squadron of KI-431Cs, don't we? That could potentially move out. Possibly towards the Philippines as well. Not the Philippines as such. I was considering moving them to the Philippines. But we could actually potentially have them move to the Marshalls, for example. I mean, these aircraft could be actually able to handle that. It would be nice to actually have our Zeros... Possibly. They do have the two... yeah, the dual 12.7 millimeter machine guns there. We'll consider that. Right. Yeah, what do you guys think then? Because at the end of the day, we might... I mean, we haven't considered this. We do have a lot of KI-431C production. It could actually be really worthwhile for us to actually move army planes out there. I think at the end of the day, that... yeah, I think we'll go for that. We do have very good pilots in this squadron of the 54th Sentai. And they are really... the second best fighter that I have after that. Well, yeah, there's the A602 and then there's the KI-431C, so I think these guys could be a very good option, and it's something that we didn't actually consider in the past. Something that we've not mentioned, so it might be worthwhile to actually transfer army pilots out down that way. It would be nice as well to actually share out the pilot pool, because at the end of the day, these are army pilots, not the navy pilots, so at least the navy pilots would be saved. Right, yes, you really do have a connection with your audience. Oh, that's awesome, dude. There are naval patrols over the western approaches to KYJ. Yeah, we do have patrols. Not so much attack patrols, those obviously we just set them to ASW duties, but we do have H6K4s that are running patrols. I'm going to be increasing the amount of H6K4s over that way as well. So we'll have patrols out from Tarawa, KYJ, and Wake. I think there is like one patrol plane at Midway, but I don't think it's actually active here at the moment. Yeah, I think this might be our best option here. So let's see here, your range is about 12. It probably would take us a couple of days actually to get them out there. But I think that would be the best case scenario. I think... I don't know, it's one of these things here. Let's take a look at this. So, I mean, I see this heavy cruiser over here. I don't know whether that could be a carrier or not. I mean, the thing is, we don't know if we've missed them already, and that's the terrifying thing. They might have already left Pearl Harbor out as knowing, really. But if we take a look, so the distance is about 52 hexes. So if we take for example, I don't know, this is it. It depends really what sort of escorting forces he has with his carriers. But we'll go with the assumption that if he's making full steam with his carriers, which are roughly the same sort of speed as my carriers when they're in tip-top condition, he might be moving at 8 hexes per day. So, I don't know, he might be there in about six days. Or, what I'm going to do here really is go with a more dramatic estimate. So let's say that he somehow manages to actually make it at 10 10 hexes per day. He'll be here in about 5 days. But what I'm going to work with is that he's potentially heading out at 12 knots. Sorry, 12 hexes per day. So he'd be here in just over 4 days. I think it might be something like that we have to go with. If we can sort of react in that sort of time scale, in this, like, worst case scenario, then it would be nice. Hello there, Jay Clark. Hi, TRG, been watching your 1v series, but this is the first time I've seen your live stream. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, the 1v series is pretty rubbish at the moment, to be honest. I would like to do something in the future for 1vs, but I will be doing something for 1v East too when it's actually ready. That'd be quite nice. I think I don't know. I think it's like with one of these, it's like I gained a lot of experience through playing, of course. I did obviously start out very raw, but then as the game really got quite interesting, it did lose a lot of its appeal as the AI did screw itself over as we did make our push towards Moscow. I thought that was the most enjoyable part of the campaign there, was the battle for Moscow, but it was such a shame that the AI did allow us to actually take it in the end, which is a shame. But we might do something like that in the future. But it's good to actually have you on stream, so welcome there, Jay Clark. Nice to see you. Right. I'm looking for a command here, so let's see. What do we have them assigned to? 24th Air Flotilla. So we'll look for the command that 24th Air Flotilla is actually assigned to. Is it 24th Air Flotilla at KYJ here, actually? Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll go with... I mean, let's say, for example, that he's moving at 12 hexes per day from Pearl Harbor. There's no way in hell he could move at 12 hexes per day, but if we go with that sort of timetable, let's assume that 4 days is maybe the minimum time he could be here. Could your naval bombers Betties deal with any carrier incursion? They could attack. They could absolutely attack. They do have the range to attack. They have range out to somewhere like this distance. But the thing is, we need to get them fighter cover. But if I was able to get the KI-43-1Cs out to the Marshalls, we'd have a pretty solid chance to actually... I mean, 20 or so of those bad boys. I could even funnel more of the actual KI-43s there. We could actually send additional A5 and 4s here to the Marshalls as well. So actually try and build up a decent amount of fighter cover in this area. It might be then potentially possible for us to actually launch a pretty good counterattack. I think what I'd like to do here then is actually spend... well, actually allow him to come closer. We do have a H6K force, so what we need to do really is detect him and allow him to approach. I think what we'd like to do is potentially try to hit him when he's closer to the Marsh Islands and really allow him less chance to maneuver out of danger. I think he'll probably end up hitting Wake. I think he's going to probably go for that. I mean, Tarawa would be the most damaging to me personally, because I think at the end of the day, I can't really move a lot of this out of here. I mean, I could, but it's difficult, and it's like, where could I move it? There's a lot of distance here, and there's not much in the way of fuel here. Though I suppose this is probably the kick up the arse we needed, really. Now, I do have a couple submarines down here. We do have one over here at the French frigate shoal. So what we'll do here then is sort of calculate a actual path from Pearl Harbor to KYJ, to Wake, and really sort of figure out where he might be approaching from. We do also have 2 submarines out here, technically a 3rd submarine here as well, so at least we do have other options here to potentially strike back while this guy is actually out of fuel and very damaged. But RO-67's actually ready to go, so she could actually be used to strike at the enemy. Which is good. At least we do have something here. And this is what I enjoy most of all, is actually trying to work through the adversity. Well, adversity. Adversity? Yeah, adversity. And make it work. Time to break down the inter-service rivalry, indeed. Yeah, send the army aircraft to KYJ. Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's like, I do spend a hell of a lot of time thinking about this. But that is because I actually have a passion for this, and it's really awesome that you guys do as well. Can't just half-arse it. Right, so let's take a look at moving the KI-43s then out of China. So we'll have you assigned to a different command then. So 24th Air Flotilla is under the command of Southern Army, interestingly enough. Now, I could have you transferred, yep, so we'll have you transferred to 24th Air Flotilla. If I was to have you transferred to the Southern Army, that would be still 60 political points here then. So what we'll do then is we'll have you transferred to the 24th Air Flotilla, considering they're already at KYJ, so we'll do that. Now, that's a lot of political points here to spend, but I'm going to do that. There we go, we've spent those political points and there's no going back now. Right, let's get them the hell out of here. Right, so we can move quite far. So about 31 hexes could be moved this turn, which is very good. We'll figure out where we could go to. Like, for example, I could move all the way over to Kyoto, potentially. Which, let's see, so I think we can make about 32 hexes then. So it's let's go with the assumption that we were to transfer to Kyoto. Now, Kyoto has 48 aviation support, and she does have a large airfield, so she's not too bad of an area to go to, really. When it comes to it, but we'll see what other examples there could be or other options. Now, 34 hexes from Osaka to Saipan. So it's going to take us a couple days actually to get them out here to the marshals, but we'll do it as quickly as possible, really. We need to figure out where it's going to be best to go to. Right, let's see. 31 hexes. I mean, you can go to the Philippines this turn. Right, let's see. So select on map. Whoops. "27 hexes. Yeah. Gifu. Nagoya. I need to figure out which is actually closer. I could have them transfer potentially down here to San Fernando, considering we do have a fair amount of aviation support at some of these bases over here. Like, for example, over here, we do have a fair amount of aviation support. Yep, we have 3 units there. Let's take a look at these options, then. So say, for example, we were to go from Nagoya, then, assuming we could do. There's 95 aviation support there. It's not the largest airfield, but it's not bad. Size 3 is fine by me. Okay. 33 hexes to Saipan. I could have them transfer to Pagan, where we actually do have some engineers there. So we have actually quite a bit of aviation support there. That's not so bad at all, actually. Not bad, not bad. So that would be maybe about 2 days. Then from Pagan, they could transfer to Truck, then Truck to KWJ. So it could be at the marshals in maybe 3 to 5 days. Well, 3 to 4 days, give or take. Which is about the minimum time that we need. In the meantime, I could actually transfer A5 and 4s out here to the marshals to actually boost our numbers. I think that's probably the best we're going to be able to manage. Or let's say, for example, so Manila, okay. Let's say you went from here then. You could transfer. So Babal Dawab would be in range. Saipan's out of range. Tinian's out of range. Guam's out of range. But Babal Dawab is within range. So you could transfer there on the second day. Then to Truck. And then to KWJ. It might be better to go down that route, considering that we do have a fair amount of aviation support along each of these bases. So that's not too bad there. Right, I'm fortifying here as well as building up the airfield. Fine, yep. The good news is we do have a fair-sized airfield here. We also do have a air flotilla headquarters that's actually unloading at the moment. That's a lot of old supplies there. Okay. Yep, I mean, I do have a AMC and AV here as well, actually. Which, when I think about it, let's see. I'd like to get the AV moving. Though, is it worth it to pick up the engineers? I'd say probably worth it to pick up the engineers as well, but at least we do have a pretty solid force that can be moved. Yeah, we also do have the 21st Air Flotilla on its way down here to truck. That's very good news. So we currently have, over here, the 23rd Air Flotilla. The 21st Air Flotilla will be here at truck in a few days, and we have the 24th Air Flotilla over here to K1J. So we have 3 Air Flotilla commands within, not too far, not too distant of each other. Which is a fair old amount of actual support there. So I think we'll go the Philippines route. Right, 3 aircraft damaged there. They'll be ready in a day. But we can't afford to wait that long. We'll get them moving now. So select on map. Actually, let's take a look at the one with the most amount of actual aviation support before we go there, and ideally potentially the best airfield. So here we do have 44 aviation support, we do have a size 3 airfield. Over here we do have a size 3 airfield with 69 aviation support, though we already do have quite a few planes here at the moment. I could transfer these actual fighters, these K-27s, to San Fernando Air Base over here, which is fine, so we could do that. Right, you don't even really need to use the drop tanks, you're actually training here at the moment. So we'll have you transfer then to San Fernando. Right, transfer to San Fernando. There we go. So they've transferred out there to San Fernando, that works for me. Okay. So that should now leave us with a lot more spare aviation support over here. Support 69, required is 11 here, so yeah. I mean, look at the amount of engineers we have here, 72 engineers. We're dying, absolutely crying out for those engineers in the Pacific, to be honest. Right, you're on shock attack, that's fine. Road construction, fair enough. Don't know why you're here, but it's good to have you. 2 engineer vehicles there is very nice. Okay. We'll move the Ki-43-1Cs then. And see, I can't get any additional range, can I now? Okay. Their range isn't too much lower than that of the A6720 platform, so that's not too bad. So transfer them there to the Philippines here to Luzon. So you can see that 27 aircraft, so 3 of them are left behind here in China for the time being. Yeah, 3 of them here. We can have them moved out in the future. Now, if I take a look then... Yep, all 27 of them are actually still ready for action, so that's very good. Yeah, and these airframes actually do have little in the way of fatigue upon them, so that's very good news. And one of them there with a little bit of damage, so he might be in maintenance next turn, you might be in maintenance here next turn as well. So we can estimate something like 25 could then jump to Baldoab. Yeah, so you're currently training here. The pilots, most of them, for the most part, they're alright. Experience is alright. We do have some fairly good experience here. And the most important thing here is going to be numbers. I mean, this is it. If I can actually get them out here, that'd be very good. It's like at the moment, we can see that we do have them with no replacement set here. I could actually have them given replacements in the future. I think they're at the maximum size there. I don't know what their actual... squadron sizes, but I think they were at the max. Right then. What I'm going to do then is have you stood down for the time being then. Well. So pilots... Right, some of them do have some fatigue then, so what we're going to do here then is we're going to put them on 100% rest. There we go. Have them just rest in between actually flying out, which is really good. Give them that time there. So, now let's see. We know we can make about 31 hexes then. 23 hexes. 34. 28 here. There's an airfield over here at Yap, but there's no aviation support. It's a shame that we're just out of reach of Saipan, but the thing is, there's not really much there in the way of aviation support still at Saipan. There is a unit, but it's not exactly massive. Yeah, we'll jump then from the Philippines down here to Babal Duab, from Babal Duab to Track, from Track to KOJ. The good news about that is, at least if we can actually have them transferred to Track, we also always do have the option then. It might be that we might potentially have some sort of idea where his carriers might be going if indeed they are coming this way. I mean, this is it. It's not even 100% sure. I don't know, I'd say I'm about 70-30 on his carriers being at Pearl Harbor. I don't know if they're all there, I don't know if we picked up on a single carrier, I don't know if it's indeed even a carrier, it might have been a misidentification, but it does seem like it could make a lot of sense, and we have seen reports of carriers and that sort of stuff, so we're going to go with the idea that, really, for the time being, he is at Pearl Harbor. I mean, I'd love to be wrong. Well, then again, would I love to be wrong? I suppose the worst thing we have to fear here is really just a little bit of damage at the Marshall Islands. Sure, he might sink some actual vessels, but in reality, he's not going to do too much in the way of damage here. So, it's only as dangerous as our imagination makes it to be, really. We'll hold our nerve. We're not going to come chasing him with carriers should he actually advance over here into this area. At the end of the day, if he advances over here into this area, yeah, he can cause some damage, and yep, it's going to hurt, it'll sting, like, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, we can survive. 30k, 43 1Cs against 60 to 90 US fighters from CVs with decent fighters. They won't stand a chance. Oh no, of course they won't stand a chance, but at the end of the day, the thing is, it's like, what's better, having nothing or having something? We don't need to defeat his forces in the air. All we need to do is ensure our actual bombers could get through. That's all we need to do. That's all we need to do, and we don't even potentially have to fight. Yeah, I think the worst thing to happen is early preparation for late 42, early 43, yeah. Well, this is it. We'll concentrate down here in, well, the South Pacific, because at the end of the day, we'll be able to actually do some damage to him down here. We'll be sinking quite a lot of his ship in here, so if we lose shipping in the north, we'll be able to take our vengeance out down here. And there's a few warships down here that we could potentially take down as well, so that's very good news. We can do a lot of damage down here. I am somewhat praying that there is a source of fuel around here. I feel like there might be fuel here at Noumea, considering the fact he's either evacuated this area, or, I don't know, he might not have any fuel here. I doubt there's going to be a lot of fuel in the area. It's going to be an interesting week to come, really. It's going to be a very interesting week. Most certainly. Okay. Right, so I'm going to combine the supply over here. So, well, the good news is we'll have a base force to come down here to Noumea rather quickly. It might be that we even have them sent over here to Luganville to begin setting up shop at Luganville if the situation down here at New Caledonia doesn't go very particularly well, which is a nice option. We could even have it done here at Funafuti or even down here at Survive, but I'm going to say probably down here towards Luganville. Have you restarted production of armaments? Yes, we have restarted armament production. Take a look. Armaments, yes, they are producing. There we go. We also have restarted some light industry production that we did capture. You also had to repair. I don't want you to repair in Hong Kong. God, no. How about we don't repair that? How about that? Holy moly. Wow, okay, so we actually did set up quite an efficient system here at Port Arthur. I'm expanding this airfield to size 5, at least so I can actually upgrade aircraft there in the future, should we wish to. It might even be a waste of supply, to be honest, but we have options. Our troops are marching south of Changsha, so yeah, they're going to be there next turn. Probably next turn, which is good. His forces look like they're pulling out from Changchao, so that's worthwhile for me. I mean, if we can have an easy time marching here into Chengchao, that works out for me, because at the end of the day, he's abandoning a position here. He's fallen back to this position here, but that's fine by me. We'll have additional forces, then we can then move on to the area with, which is good, which is very good. Of course, let's take a look. So we are building up preparation for Chengchao. Still hurt, but we'll move our preparation here. And the thing is, we might not even have to fight a battle. It's not entirely needed for us to actually fight the battle, to be honest. If we can take an objective without fighting a battle, then that works for me just as much as actually fighting a battle and defeating the Chinese does. Yeah, which is good. We'll actually have the rail line open from Hankow all the way to well, obviously from Shanghai, Manchuria, Korea. It's going to be all open then, which is going to be fantastic. So it'll actually make it much easier for us then. What we'll have to do is really set up something of a picket over here as well. But I would like to actually make an advance upon Nanyang so I can actually secure that. But I'll probably do that with the divisions over here. We do have about 3 divisions and some heavy artillery down here to the south of Xinjiang. So it would be nice to secure Nanyang so we can actually have that to somewhat shelter the rail line. The most important thing here is having the rail line operational. That's what we need. Okay. Additional forces on their way, yep. These men are going to be obviously used to tackle Borneo. We'll probably have them make their way down here to Babal-Duab. Probably unload, rest them for a time perhaps, and then have them made ready again. It might be that we even particularly, well, might potentially use them against Mindanao. There's a lot of options here. The thing is like we do have a series of sort of plans in place and ideas, but we're not obviously wedded to them. Obviously, it does very much depend on how the situation goes as to how we respond to it. We need to be somewhat flexible in our planning, really. Flow with the punches, really. I mean, there's always a potential that we do take the A6M2s from a low star, but we'll see what we can potentially put in place to not have to. Because obviously that would take much longer to move them from Malaya all the way down here. That'd take a while. It might be that we even use these A6M2s aboard the actual escort carriers or even the carriers down here, to be honest. I mean, these A6M2s could actually be really quite handy down here in Borneo, perhaps. Maybe indeed, actually. Aviation support here is actually pretty good. We do have a decent airfield. Supply isn't exactly a great thing in our favour here. Not amazing. There's quite a bit more supply over here. No, sorry, I was wrong there. That's fuel I'm looking at. Right, I do have some fast transportation forces over here. Let's actually take a look over here then. So you're currently going to be running reconnaissance then. You're running over here at the moment. What I think I might do here then is run reconnaissance over Balfort. Because at the end of the day, what I might be better off doing is actually just taking these bases closer to Miriam Brunei. Taking control of this area, then obviously expanding our forces. Perhaps in time we can actually move on to Singkawang, but obviously that is not certain as of this moment. Right, so let's take a look at what we can move then in terms of A5 and 4s then. So I do have a couple over this way. Ah, you're actually ready to be moved. Let's see, where's your... Right, KWJ, Patani, and obviously Babal-Duab and Tarawa. So that's the Toko KUT. Toko KUT, 10 of them here, obviously 18 in total. Right. I think what we'll do then is we'll actually transfer you to KWJ. So I do have these transport planes here, but obviously they're not able to be used at the moment. Once I do have an actual airfield over here at Tarawa, I could use them, but for the time being they're not doing me any good. So I think it might be worthwhile to move the L3Y2 Tinos to Babal-Douab. Or even potentially to Truck, perhaps. Possibly from Truck. What sort of range do the L3Y2s have? 20 hexes of range, that's really impressive. Hello there, Sniper, how you doing there, my friend? Now, let's see then, 20 hexes of range. 17 hexes. Out of range all the short ones, but obviously would have range over a ball. Could be handy, could be handy. And it could be that we actually, yeah, it gives us options anyhow. We'll have to figure out how we use them in the future. Well, let's see here then. So, track, what do you have in terms of support here? Ooh, you're actually over your, it's not good. We obviously do have additional support out this way. So we do have the options to actually spread out some of our aircraft over here. Right, we'll move the L3Y2s out. I might move them to Babal-Douab actually for the time being, then to actually move them out of that situation before it develops, because obviously we only have a limited amount of aviation support there. Plenty of engineers over here actually. I think what we'll do here then is go pick up those engineers. Well, to be honest, I could pick up those engineers, but it's... We'll have additional support down here in the next few days actually, so that's good to know. Right. You're not doing anything here at the moment. And do you have any troop transport capability? 350. How much is the engineer unit over here? 192. Okay, yeah, it's absolutely jack shit. We'll take you then. What we'll do then is have the yeah, this force. I suppose just transport then, I guess, for the time being. Right, have you make way for truck immediately. There we go. Speed ain't great on the first day, but that's why we'll be able to make 2 hexes. Okay. Yeah. Oh no, we're actually alright here. I think it's truck that has slightly too many troops on it. Or it might be KWJ that has too many troops on it. Yeah, I think it's KWJ. But I think it's only by about 22. Oh, 37 troops, okay. A little bit over, but obviously that's going to be costing us. Which hurts. Don't get me wrong, it hurts. I might just move some of these elements to the SLF. Right, do you have any troop capacity? No, just cargo. Right. So we don't have that there. Do these patrol boats have any troop capacity? No. That's actually quite a surprising amount of cargo, I'm not gonna lie. Is there any other ship here? Right, we do still have some ships here. You could move troops. Okay. Yep, move these elements over here then. Load troops only, yes please. There we go, accept load. So what we'll do then is we'll have them load up here. So dock, they'll be loaded on and then we'll move them the next turn to Rhoynemer. Well, what I'll do is actually, if they're ready to move this turn, I'll give them order. There we go. So, time is allowed. Your destination then will be Rhoynemer. Okay. Do we actually have the fuel here? No, okay, that's fine. Right, we'll move the L3Y2s then out towards Babaldoab. Obviously that'll leave a couple behind here, but we'll be able to make do. One of them here in reserve. It's a shame I didn't have these guys available to be used. The thing is, we obviously needed an airfield, but we've learned that since, so that's okay. Right, have you moved to Babaldoab? That's fine, we can actually make use of them over there. Okay. So that does free up some aviation support over here, that's quite nice. 24 engineers is not bad. Quite a lot of supply here on the island. Right, so we'll have those troops move down to there. So we'll not be using as much supply each turn, then that's good. Okay. Right, these ships over here. I'll have you head south for the time being. Okay, I don't know where you got the fuel from, but that's fine. Right, from you it seems. Okay, so for the most part, we are evacuating practically all the shipping out from KOJ itself. We'll have to hope that obviously they don't get picked up on, well, picked up by the actual submarines. The good news is it doesn't appear that he has any sort of detection out here in terms of actual aircraft. I think we're also out of range. So his submarines might not actually be able to detect it. It might be very much pure luck if they actually run into us. So that's really what we've got going for us at the moment. I think what we'll do here then is bring these patrol boats back. Have them head down towards KOJ. At the end of the day, these are the only two islands that we have to patrol. And what we'll do is, once the actual shipping is out of these islands, we don't even have to necessarily patrol here. What we'll do is probably pull back. And at least then we actually reduce the amount of shipping that he could actually hit, if any at all, really, for the most part. Which would be nice. I think that's probably the best case scenario for us to do something like that. Okay, let's move these A5 M4s 2 in reserve here. I mean, obviously I can actually increase the size of the squadron, potentially. They could obviously be upgraded to A6M2 But either way, let's move them. Let's see. Using drop tanks, yeah, this is going to take a while. Could move you there. Oh dear. Not much there in terms of actual capacity, is there? How do the planes actually look? There's not much there in fatigue, so they should be okay. We'll take a gamble then. I'm going to turn off upgrades here, so no upgrades allowed here for the time being. Actually keep the replacements on. But what we'll do then is we'll shift them as we can then. These are some weird arse settings. Right. Move you as far as you can possibly move then. Which is going to be over here. Which is not exactly great, but then we'll move you next turn to track. Right. So 7 of them make it. 2 in reserve still. Obviously they'll fill that back out again. As long as I can get the squadron out that way, that's fine for me. They are carrier capable, which is quite handy. Yes, it looks like they were lost as operational potentially. We'll make do. Yeah, so these A5M4s are obviously not going to be able to make it back over here. Okay. Still not bloody ready here yet. Bloody hell, I regret having these guys here. Right, tomorrow we'll have 2 of them ideally available again, and then 13 days for the other. At least then I'll actually benefit from having more support aimed directly on it. I think I'll have these guys transfer. Just have them transfer to Singorda, at least then they're actually on the bloody rail line. Yeah, there's only 620 troops over here, so that's not a lot at all. I mean, probably half of that is frontline troops. These men are on their way. I could potentially send the tank regiment and the reconnaissance regiment, but I don't want to send them alone. Granted, well, I mean, there's about 1,200 troops in 103 vehicles, but I don't want to send them out on their own. They could maybe handle it. I mean, this is it. They could probably handle it. I mean, the reconnaissance regiment here could probably handle that. But I don't want to send them out without adequate amounts of support, really. As at the end of the day, we're only as strong as the weakest link, aren't we? So, we don't want to be going without that, really. The good news is we are building up our planning over Singapore, so that's very good. But the good thing is, once we do take Taiping, I can actually have a division reformed over here at Taiping, so we'll obviously be able to begin marching down here south with a full division. Well, 2 full divisions, and potentially even the 3rd Imperial Guard division if we have it transferred down here to the south as well. So, a couple divisions. If necessary, we could always transfer another division out from elsewhere. And additional forces. Hello there, Todd. The H6K lacks a pilot. They might be on the way, but I'll make sure that there's one sent, just in case. There we go. They're on training at the moment, that might be, actually they're not doing any training. Okay, well, let's see. Search, but obviously just rest, make sure they're actually made ready. Okay. I'm kind of tempted to actually transfer some A6M2 down here. Yeah. Then again. Right, we're just taking Georgetown there. Rest in training, that's fine. How long will it take for your troops in the north to reach Mersing? Quite a long time, really. I'd say maybe about 2 weeks, give or take. Which is obviously a long time. I'm aware of that one. But we don't really have much in the way of options there. Right, tanker. I do have a couple subs over here, so they've arrived. I think it's only certain submarines that can actually take the midget subs. Okay, what we'll do here then is... Well... Right, so you need obviously rearmament. I-157 is good to go. Right. Let's see here. So, replenish from the actual task force. Cannot be fully rearmed here at this moment in time. What's up there, Blinson? So Blinson here, ladies and gentlemen, is the Battle Group Gamer. You can find him on YouTube. Great guy, definitely worth checking out. You may run our reconnaissance planes soon. Of varying types, yes, because we're no longer producing them, but we are producing the Dinos. So you'll be able to obviously have them upgrade to those aircraft in the future. Maybe I'm paranoid, but could he ambush or carry a fleet on its way back? Potentially so, but the thing is, it is far harder for him to actually get access to our carriers here. For example, we do have some float planes over here at Funafuti, which obviously do have 10 hex of surge. I mean, also we do have a lot of float planes out here at Tarawa. And then, yeah, I mean, the thing is, if his carriers are here, he's kind of walled off from our own carriers for the most part by a wall of reconnaissance. That would obviously make us aware of what his intentions were. But I... You do okay. I was thinking actually it might be worthwhile. Well, actually no, we'll concentrate on Numaya. I mean, would I have him head at full speed to actually reach the area? No, I don't think it's worth it. We'll either catch him or we won't. Okay. We'll hope that there's not much in the way of defense there, and attempt to hit whatever the hell is at Sydney. Wow, you have some really good range there. I-10, yes please. You do need rearmament as well, actually. I think we'll have you make your way towards Numaya, potentially. As you will obviously need rearmament, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to have some reconnaissance out this way. I don't think THG wants a CV battle now. No, he would lose that. With the spotting of the carriers, I'm afraid that he may try to feign an attack to solicit a counter from you. Yeah, which is why the best thing we can do to actually win that is really not to react, and we won't react. Obviously, we'll react. We are moving our forces, but we aren't going to be sending the carriers. Well, what we're going to do here then is we aren't going to use our aircraft against Numaya. We're in fact going to use the battleships and the... well, basically the battleships to actually bombard for the most part, potentially even the heavy cruisers as well. We'll use our aircraft actually... well, our aircraft carriers, for example, so Kidabutai 1, obviously the faster elements of Kidabutai, is making full speed to actually make it down here to Numaya, so we can actually hit those forces there and set up. Obviously that's going to cost us quite a lot of fuel, but we are going to be using the battleships mostly as something like floating tankers. We'll use the actual cargo ships over here to well, suck the fuel from. We do have a tanker that's going to be setting out from Tarawa. We have a tanker, well, we have an oiler on the way over here. We'll be able to set out with another oiler down this way, which is on its way back there, Tohomaru. 2 patrol boats, yep, okay. So let's take a look over here then. So at track... right. But we have 2 tankers over here then, that's good to see. Loan's just been completed there. So that's quite good. I'd say use all the gunships from the bombardment. Yeah, I suppose the thing is, it's like, obviously, the actual warships. I mean, of course, it would be nice to have them armed. I think we'll obviously not commit all of them to actual battle, probably keep the ones escorting the carriers fully armed, but I think we'll use the battleships to actually bombard. So I think at the end of the day, 4 battleships and a good few heavy cruisers potentially, and could actually inflict some pretty good harm against the defenders at Noumea. I mean, that's going to give us the, obviously, best shot of it as we can get, really. We'll run a lot of reconnaissance over Noumea as well. Really try to just make sure our bombardment is as damaging as possible, because that's going to be the thing that makes a difference. And we'll obviously have them then dispatched back towards Truck for the most part, or even potentially remain on station and, yeah, have them able to function as floating AA batteries. I mean, detach a small squad for naval combat to stay in the Hex. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, obviously we'll require that anyway, because we don't want to just, like, throw everything into that. But yeah, we'll have the carriers move down here. Half the carriers are going to stay. Well, 4 of the carriers are going to move down here. Akagi and Karga are going to be sent to Luganville. We are sending 1 ship to actually secure the port here at Luganville. So then what I can do then is actually use Luganville to actually build up basically a position to actually extend from. We do have our base force on its way down here to the area. So what we might do then is actually have Luganville built up to actually be something of a fallback point. Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, we do have the big boys down here as well. We do have Nagato and Mutsu. I mean, the Nagato class is our pretty beefy class of battleship. I mean, we do have the big old guns there, the 40cm guns there. Well, I think they're 450. I can't remember exactly what they are. But yeah, the 45 3YT guns. So, that's 8 there. And of course, we do have another 8 over here as well. We then have the 200mm odd guns of the for attacker class. So yeah, we can make use of that. It might be that we even use the battleships, the Fiji cover force to bombard. At the end of the day, we also then do have the other 2 battleships here of Hiei and Kirishima, which are actually very capable. I mean, I love their speed. The guns aren't as large, but they could obviously deal some pretty ferocious damage. So that's good, very good. So, a potential bombardment force might consist of maybe 4 battleships. 4 battleships. And about 4 heavy cruisers, potentially. Hello there, Monry. Afternoon all, want to say thanks. Ah, thank you, dude. I broke down and bought the game. That's awesome, mate. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and actually join the Discord, you can actually find all the mods I'm using here as well. Is the plan to bombard first for a day or 2 before landing, or land and bombard at the same time? We'll bombard probably before we land. Well, definitely before we land, just obviously to soften them up to a degree. And the thing is, it's like, I'm not intending to actually use the aircraft, but what we might be able to do is actually deal some decent damage with the actual bombardment, and then we might consider actually using the aircraft should he be softened up over here. But yeah, I think what we'll do here then is use the carriers then to strike at the the naval forces outside New Caledonia, and then strike south then towards actually finishing these forces off here. We know there are naval, well, warships down here as well, so we do have 2 submarines over here to potentially hit them on their way out of Auckland. So that's good, at least we are covering our bases here, which is very, very handy. Right, you're heading back over here as well. You do actually have some very good speed there, I-21. You also do benefit from having a search plane, which is bloody well fantastic. Now, considering you do have a decent amount of endurance, what I might want to do here then is actually... Let's see here. I'm going to put you on full speed to actually get you into the area, because I think at the end of the day, having that reconnaissance would be fantastic, actually. So I'll place you on full speed then for the time being, just to turn up full speed, just to get you to this area here. At least then you might actually be able to participate, but most importantly, your naval reconnaissance aircraft is actually going to be very handy over here. Okay. Are you finishing now, or am I not so late? We've been going for about an hour and a half, but we still have a lot to do as of yet. Always one-upping. Yeah, 203 and 356mm. And the Hiei and Kirishima actually do make 29 knots, which is pretty fantastic. I mean, Truck isn't too far away. And obviously, it's a couple days steam, but it could be done. It could be done. What we're going to do here, then, is, let's see. So, The A5M4s are on their way. The KI-431Cs are on their way. Also going to take a couple days. We might transfer a squadron of bombers out to Wake, but we'll see. Actually, what we'll do here then... Actually, let's take... How many do we have at KYJ then? So KYJ, what do we have? We have here a couple. I could draw on the reserve. Over here at Wake, we have just the one, obviously a second one here, but that's going to be out for a while. What forces will you leave there to stop him from counterattack and retake New Maine if you take it? Well, what we'll do here then is obviously leave behind, I'd say at least a Naval Guard unit and a base force. We'll leave behind about 24 A5M4s as well, give or take 24, 25 behind to actually watch out for. And, well, obviously aircraft, but then obviously we'll move down bombers down here to this area too as well. Probably submarines for the most part. I'd like to have some submarine tenders here as well. The main thing is also going to be getting this up and running. I mean, we do have a small amount of light industry there, which is going to be phenomenally good. Because at the end of the day, those resources in the light industry, at least we can actually produce supply in the area, which is a very, very good thing there. Average repair time is 8 days for the KYJ Mavis planes, yeah. And they're bloody intensive aircraft. The thing is, they were down at Talawar where they were actually really suffering from the lack of actual repair, really, for the most part. Yep, definitely need more aviation support here. And we'll have to get it then in time, really. Indeed. It's a difficult situation, but we'll have to make the best. Fatigue of the air pilots isn't too bad. The fatigue of the actual aircraft isn't great, though, however. What I'll do here, then, is... okay. Ooh, I can only put in one there. But that's fine, that's one fresh aircraft. Can't give you a reserve. Right. In all honesty, I could actually just base some of these patrol planes out here, really. Might even be worthwhile doing it, that. Let's take a look over here, because they might not actually require that much in the way of naval support. Sorry, aviation support. So which island is the closest to Pearl Harbor? 49 hexes, 30 hexes away from Johnston. Two air-to-air losses on the H6Ks. Yeah, probably they were shot down by like some kind of combat air patrol, potentially somewhere. Okay. Are you doing planes now, or what are you doing? Yeah, we're kind of like moving aircraft around at the moment here. Okay, so that's 30 hexes. What was it from over here, then? 30... Are they roughly the same distance away? Yeah, 49. Okay, that's fine. Three pieces of flak here. Say larger airfield here. 2 pieces of flak, but it's a larger airfield, so that's quite nice. Okay, what we'll do here then is transfer out these H6K4s from here. Right, so transfer to this position. That base over there. Well, I mean, it's our island, but we don't have anything there. I could send some engineers there to build it up if I so wish to, but obviously that would take some time. It would be nice to do that potentially in the future, but I mean, Wake serves that purpose in there to the north, which is quite good. Okay, so let's see here. So KYJ. I'm going to move some SLF away from the KYJ to Roma next turn. So we can see that the aviation support here is actually okay, so 80-55. How much do they actually require from us? They might actually require a shitload. Required 6, so they're actually happy here. They're actually happy. Granted, there's only one of them bloody available now, but that's fine. I need to move the Toko. Issue is I need them bloody repaired. Just give them reserves if I can give them reserves, and at least that gets fresh aircraft out there. Right. Oh, right, okay. Right, I'll transfer this force. It's going to transfer about 8 of them. So, we'll transfer them to Royndamer for the time being. Okay, so that's 8 over here now. What's the aviation support looking like? Oh, well, fantastic. That's actually pretty good then. Nice. I'm not gonna lie, I'm seriously tempted to actually have them, quote-unquote, upgraded to G3M2s. Yeah. I could at least then merge them with the rest of our squadron, and we have plenty of G3M2s, but we have hardly any G4M1s. And we have plenty in the field, but we don't have really anything in the way of actual replacements. So that's a difficult circumstance. Okay. But the good news is now we have additional search. It's only a squadron of 2 G4M1s. I mean, it's actually part of the G3M2 squadron. It's intended that this squadron upgrades to the G4M1s, but obviously we have... You take a look at that. We have 61 over here. We have 8 of these bad boys in reserve already. We have fuckloads of them. What do I have here in terms of aviation support then? Right. 27 here at the moment. The question is, what do I do here? Because I could potentially even assign... I could actually send this squadron of G3M2s over to Wake Island. But is that really a good idea? I'd say not yet. Right, well, they're on naval attack. What I'm gonna... Well, do I even want to bother with that? One of the differences between them is the G4M1 has a longer range. And we can compare here. So, durability 35, gun value... Okay, so G4 is slightly more slightly more durable. Yeah, slightly more durable, has more maneuverability. It has a slightly higher climb rate, slightly lower altitude, but it has its, well, further range. It's a faster aircraft as well, which is obviously very important. Yeah. Gun value, about the same. Service rating is about the same. I don't know what C means, but I believe that means internal bomb bay. They do use a different engine, actually. And that's why we don't suffer as much troubles with the G3M2s, is due to the fact that we have nowhere near the amount of bottleneck with the Mitsubishi HA33s. Oh, right, okay, that one. Oh, that one's actual... it's a transport variant. Same sort of range. But they're really just mostly transports, which is fantastic, to be honest. Let's see, can I compare them to anything here? Yeah, there we go. Actually, not much in the way of difference between maximum load, really. Endurance is actually technically lower. Then they do have a slightly higher speed. They just don't have any armament. Interesting. Okay. Righto, righto. So what I'll do here then is I'll grab that H6K4 and have that transferred to, I'm going to say Wake. Ah, fuck's sake, I'll just go on the actual map and select it. Okay, there we go. Transfer to Wake. Hello there, Infinite Monkey. How you doing, my dude? No, so this isn't an ideal situation here. I mean, what I'd obviously like to do in the future is actually have these guys sorted out. What I'm going to do here, then, the fatigue of the pilot's 21, the fatigue of the aircraft is actually not too bad at all, to be honest. We'll run search here for the time being. Right, 100% search with you as well. There's no fatigue on you. I can't give you another aircraft, but this one's actually ready to go, which is fine. So we'll run... yeah, we'll run that search for the time being. At least with the additional 8 H6K4s over here now. I mean, obviously we do have, technically, what is it, 10 in the area or 9 in the area that are active? Yeah, about 9 of them are active here in the area. What we might do is actually split that unit up and send them around here, but at least we do have at least some additional search capacity out here. Wake is a good candidate for float planes right now until the airbase can be repaired. Expanded, good position to reconnoiter the entire Middle Pacific. Yep, exactly. So what we're doing here really is just trying to build up an actual... I mean, yeah, if you take a look at this, I don't know, where's the pointer which is like halfway? 21. Yeah, so, and that's obviously maximum range of the H6K4, so roughly this line here, so roughly roughly 160. Well, not so much over here. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's 25 as well. And then you can imagine Wake is probably up along that line, give or take. Can you show your patrol squadrons? Yeah, sure. They're not in a great situation. They spent a long time at Tanawa without appropriate aviation support, so they're not looking particularly good. So, yeah, that's kind of the line at which, at maximum, absolute maximum range, we could detect them, but obviously that's not going to happen. I'd imagine we'd probably detect them more so about here, maybe. Probably something like that line there. But at the end of the day, that does give us additional time, which is important. And also at Wake as well. Yeah, okay, so these guys over here, they're bloody well split up all over the place. We need to really sort out the situation here. Yeah, those map editing skills, I know, right? What I might do is, let's see... The planes are alright for the most part. A few of them are actually not too bad. I think what I'll do here is increase this to about 60... No, about 70-30 for the time being. Increase the amount of, yeah. If we actually take a look at the aircraft here, so their range... Their normal radius is about 20 hexes. Yeah, that's at least a day's notice. You are right about that. It might be worthwhile, perhaps, actually, we'll drop the range by about 5 hexes here, actually. We'll drop it to their normal operational radius, which is also going to make it much easier on them. So we'll drop it by about 5 hexes. That's still 20 hexes of which we can actually detect them. But at least they're not going to be working as hard. Yeah, first thing I do with that squadron is fly in the component from Battalion and split them into 3 groups. Yep, I wish I could have done that from start, actually. So there, Tortuga, you sexy, neck-bearded bastard, how you doing there? So for those of you who are somehow not aware of Tortuga Power, he's a fantastic content creator. And, Tortuga, guess what? Navy Warfare? What the fuck is that game called? Rule the Waves, yeah, Rule the Waves 2 is actually going to have all guns forward as an actual proper design. It's going to be great. I'm actually going to be able to make all guns forward design that isn't going to suck. It's going to be brilliant. I can't bloody wait for that. I'm actually not going to look like an idiot. Oh dear. I can't wait for that. Okay. Right. So we're going to do the same over here to Talawan as well then. Set them down to 25. It's going to make it a little bit easier on the actual patrols. We do still have 3 patrol boats over here at Patali that are undergoing repair. 2 of them will be ready tomorrow, but obviously one of them is going to be about 13 days. Well, technically 12 days tomorrow, but we'll have to wait for that. Okay, so I think for the most part, we are going to be transferring the KA-431Cs here from Luzon. They've just made it here from China to Luzon, so what we're going to be doing then is moving them next to Bab al-Dawab, and then to Truk, and then to the Marsh Islands. You will never outlive your succession designs. They were great. I mean, the light cruisers were fantastic, actually. I mean, they were like upgunned bloody behemoths. That was brilliant. It's just a shame that they just weren't amazing. Operational losses increased by both using drop tanks and flying max range, as is fatigue, yep. So we'll reduce the actual range for the time being then, and really help to just ease them in, really, again. Okay. Let's see here. I'm kind of tempted to actually drop these shorter ranged elements over here. And let's take a look at Truk then. Does Truk actually have a cruiser mine layer? ACM. I think that's a cruiser mine layer, is it? I can't remember actually. ACM. Mine layer 10 dig. Yep, so we already have 2 of them, so that's not too much of a concern. I do have, yeah, we have 4 there. Okay, so what we're going to do here then is actually drop these guys. Well, drop the cruiser mine layer for the most part. The good thing is I can actually have this deployed to Saipan, and if necessary, actually deploy mines then in the far future. How much bloody range do you have? Oh, that's actually the AMC, isn't it? No bloody wonder. There we go. That's what I need. Right, you are low on fuel, so I'll have you sent to Saipan. Just have your home port set as Saipan then for the time being. Yeah, pretty much. Oh dear. Right, these engineers have just finished loading now. Which is pretty good, actually. I think what I might do here then is actually have this engineer unit deployed over here potentially to Marcus Island. That's not bad. Trying to get extra planes and pilots into the squadron, yeah. What do we have aboard here? Really looking towards the engineers for the most part. So, 8 engineers are... Do we have any, like, vehicles? No. Okay, so that's about 12 engineers in total then. Is it worth doing that? I mean, if we send them to Marcus, what could we gain from that? It already has an airfield, a little bit of supply there. I don't think it's particularly worth to send anything there for the time being then. So we'll have them diverted elsewhere then, perhaps. It wouldn't be a bad idea to have them sent down... maybe even down towards, like, Shorelands or Guadalcanal or something like that. One of these other bases that we'd like to build up in the meantime. So we'll have them sent out from Tinian. We'll have them make way for Truk to begin with. What I am going to do then is... Let's take a look. So, this falls here now then. Let's see. The Yuzuki is suffering a little bit. She obviously does need a little bit more fuel. See these AMCs over here. Let's take a look at these bad boys. Yeah, they're actually not carrying anything here. Interesting. When you say no supply, do you mean these islands, or... Well, I know you mean these islands, but, like, which islands do you mean? Because obviously, these guys are being moved out here. Yeah, I mean, Dota has practically nothing. Guam has little. I'd like to build them up one day. And this is it. I am for going build on these airfields to actually have them sent to the forefront so we can actually begin to build them up. So we are making a conscious decision here that might very well bite us in the arse in the future. Because at the end of the day, it would be nice to actually have the Marianas built up. But if they're advanced on the Marianas, then things aren't going particularly well either, are they? I mean, Wake is going to be our defense of the Marianas. Well, this is the preamble to the Marianas. And obviously the Marshals is the preamble to the Marianas. Oh, right, okay. Plenty of supply here at Saipan. Okay, this Naval Guard. When do we gain the rest of the 84th Naval Guard? I think it's in about 2 days, isn't it? Group reinforcement schedule. 84 3 days, okay. 2 days, these units at Tokyo. Huh, right, okay, so let's see here. I can't rebuild them as yet, as obviously the other element of the unit has not yet arrived. 450, 450. Okay, what I'm going to do here then is fast transport the AMCs over here then. I'm going to have them headed to Saipan, and then what they can do in about 3 days or so is actually pick up the 84th Naval Guard. They should actually be able to manage to pick up the 84th Naval Guard as a complete unit. Yeah, they should be able to manage that. And when we get the first unit with the Type 2 Kai-Mai amphibious tanks, I don't have a fucking clue. I don't know, actually. Well, we can try and figure that one out. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Type 95 Lion Tank. That's going to take a while, but I'll look forward to when that actually arrives at Wake. Quite some time away. Yeah, they'd be armor, but they're technically not assigned. So, let's see. When the turn is finished, does the Japanese player get immediate combat results, or is it when the allied player finishes the turn? What happens is, it's like, I'll actually... So, like, I've got all my orders here, so once I actually save and end the turn, then I send the file on towards THG. He's already seen the combat results, so what he then gets to do is actually input his orders, and then he sends a file back to me, and then I resolve the turn. And, yeah, we get to see the results first, and we get to input our orders first. Raiding tanks, okay. Type 94, Type 2 light tank. That, yeah, that looks to be it then, the Type 2 So... 44, potentially? Oh, amphibious Type 2 here, yeah, Type 2 amphibious tanks then. So, 16th of November, 1943, maybe? Yeah, that's the only, like, explicitly labelled amphibious brigade. Yeah, definitely. Been able to actually see the game in action. Okay, so at least we are making use of our forces out here. Right. Oh, there we go. So we have Iro already on her way. So what we're going to do then is have this unit sent down here to Luganville. Now, you are going to be sailing very close to Rabalva. So probably not the wise decision, but it might not be too bad because I don't know if he actually has anything yet. What we're going to do here then is actually run our G-Force. Let's see. Yeah, I'll be changing it, don't worry. We do need search out this way, so we can't move everything. But what I'm going to do here then is actually the G4M1s. Well, not so much the G4M1s, I'm going to use the G3M2s to be fair. But then again, is it perhaps worth using the G4s considering that they actually have the range? But I'd rather have these guys in the ASW, wouldn't I? So what we'll do here then is we'll grab the G3M2s. I'm going to have them actually run reconnaissance here for the most part. Right, so run reconnaissance then over Rabal. I actually want to know what is going on at Rabal. So run at 10,000 feet. Well, make it about 11,000 feet then. Right, turn off search. Just have them do that. Or do I divide the unit? I'll divide the unit here then. There we go. So I have 3 elements of it. So what we'll do then is we'll have one element run reconnaissance, and then obviously the other element can run naval. But then again, I could actually use them to run reconnaissance over quite a few of these islands. Actually figured out what's going on here. But it's not particularly necessary. Or is it? It might be nice to actually know really what's going on there, but yeah, probably not. What I'll do is I'll just run What do you guys reckon? I mean, I'd like to have reconnaissance over Rabal so I can actually see if there's anything at Rabal. Because at the end of the day, if there's an opportunity to grab Rabal, I'd like to do that, as obviously then I could actually have a base within L3Y2 Tina range out from truck. So I can actually fly supplies out to that base at Rabal and then have them moved out there. Too bad subs can't be sent to reconnoiter a coastal base like you can in Victory at Sea Pacific. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Information is key, yeah, you are right. I think what we'll do then is we'll actually use that neatly divided G3M2 squadron to actually reconnoiter these islands over here. We'll take a look at the Bismarck Sea then. At least then we'll actually know if there's anything to take into consideration, really. I don't think I need to worry about 11,000 feet, because well, not over these islands. Though, yeah, we'll go about, yeah. There we go. Then you can run reconnaissance over this island here as well. Yeah, it really is. I mean, a size 3 port and a size 3 airbase, you can't bloody complain about that. I mean, that could be actually built up to a size 6, which is incredibly large there. But for slow planes like the Betty's go at 20k, not 11k, as also the more reconnaissance. Yeah, true. True, very true. Okay, we'll try 20,000 feet then. I won't complain about that. Won't complain. Right, so it loads in these elements back on board over here, which is good. Then we can have them move down here. Okay. Baker Island's obviously complain about lack of supplies. Right, let's see. I do have this tanker that I would like to actually get going, but what I'm going to do here then for the time being is actually just have it stay its course at the moment. Jeez, that'd be incredibly large. Right. Kotori. So grab Kotori here then. So, Kotori. See, I could even have some of these AVs move on up as well, actually. Hack on. SGNG, I want to say thank you, NTHG, for doing the series. I really enjoy it. Personally, I can never play such a long campaign as you guys are doing, so I'm very happy you can enjoy this game. Ah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, it's going to be an incredible project. I mean, it's going to be going on for a bloody long time. And we've already been going a few months, really, at the moment. So, it's been an evolving series. And the great thing is, it's like I've learned so very much since starting playing. And it'd be really awesome if you guys had helped, well, learn alongside me, really. Yeah, Tanawa only has about 500 units of fuel. We do have a tank event, of course, but we aren't really going to be using it as a refueling station, potentially in the future. I mean, Kidabutai did drain KYJ of all the fuel there. And we have been sort of... We do have 55,000 units of fuel on its way to track. When the danger isn't as present, then we'll actually start to resupply these islands. The situation's bad, but it's not as bad as it could be. We are going to be something of a vampire economy here in this area for the time being. But just as we're suffering with fuel shortages, he will be as well. Though the thing is, he has to worry about my carriers, which are very much in the area. Yeah, remember, press Z. Yeah, God. But what about that, Blinson? Remember when we found out you can have your headquarters given torpedoes and automatically supplied with torpedoes? So yeah, it's been a learning experience for us all, really. Okay, low troops. Yeah, HQ's getting getting torpedoes. Okay, let's see here. So I'm looking to actually take some elements of force along with me. Like, for instance, we do have... Let's see, what elements do we have over down here? Just outside of the New Hebrides. Well, technically the New Hebrides are there, well, yeah, I suppose. Well, Espirito Santo. Right, so that is the 144th there. Over here we have the 61st Naval Guard, and over here we have the Maizuru 1st SLF. So what we'll do here then is we'll actually use Kotori then to actually grab those other elements. Now Kotori can carry 275 and 150 cargo. So let's see here. 93, yep, you could fit. 61st, not entirely, just shy actually. But let's see. Do I have anything else I could do this? Now Tenru could potentially do it. I could use her. I mean, these guys, yeah, Tenru actually has more capacity, which is quite nice. These two destroyers, obviously, over here, too. Not yet, but we will be moving into that area and running reconnaissance anyhow, so we'll gather that information there as we get there. Right. Okay, so the Sarkam is unloading here. Okay, what we might do here then is potentially use Kotori to pick up... Yeah, we'll use Kotori then to pick up these remaining elements of the Maizuru 1st SLF. So I'll select that unit there. I'm going to tell her to only pick up the actual troops, as we don't really have much supply on the island as is. So we'll pick up the troops there. Yep, set that load. Right. So they're actually going to be picking up a few guns here, and a decent amount of infantry, really, and support. So in reality, not too bad, but I mean, you take a look at that. So we have a 70mm Type 92 howitzer, 75mm infantry gun, 13.2mm Type 93 AA machine gun, but obviously the Type 91 armoured car, so that's not bad, really. We'll pick them up. Then what we'll do here, then, is, I mean, potentially I could, let's see, the tanker. Let's see, Kotori. Where's she gone? Not you. Not you. There we go. Okay, so I could have that actually set out as is, but what I could do here then is actually give them the Tenru. But I could have Tenru actually operate with Kotori, or even operate separate to Kotori, but she does have a fair bit of damage there to her system, so it might be worth it to actually have some repairs done at track, potentially. There's actually a fair amount of patrol boats here that I can actually draw fuel from. Patrol boats are nice, but they're not Yeah, I mean, they're fair size, aren't they? They're basically just converted cargo ships, for the most part. Okay. She isn't particularly well guarded, but... Well, then again, let's see. Right, we have Tenru. Right. Yeah, I'll have you make your way down to Luganville. Mission speed there. We'll just get you underway, and then at least that's extra fuel that's going to be on its way down here. We do obviously have... I mean, in reality, we have what? So, 5,797 units of fuel there. We have another, what, 5,000 units of fuel there. And then, of course, there is the other oiler up over this way. Yeah, with 8,000 units of fuel there. Let's see, safer. Yeah, that looks okay. Yeah, so we do have fuel on its way down here, so that's good news. And honestly, what we'll do is we'll use the fuel actually from the cargo ships for the most part. The thing is, I do have a decent-sized merchant marine. I will be able to defend it to a degree down here with the actual carriers, so they might be out of fuel for a while. But I'll be able to look after them and refuel them in time. Okay. We'll get that fuel moving. We are building up the amount of support that we have here at Tarawa. At the moment, we only require about 30. What I may do then is actually have a AV set out from here. Even potentially a submarine tender like the Rio de Janeiro. Hello there, Epic Duck. How you doing, my friend? We've just been going over a lot of our orders. We are starting to transfer KI-43s to the Marshals. Obviously, that's going to take some time to get going there. Shima. Okay, Kamori. Kamoi. What we'll do here then is have Kyokawa, Maru, and the Rio de Janeiro. How the hell I pronounce it? They can actually be accompanied by the 10 Ru and the 2 light crew, sorry, the 2 destroyers then. Or even do we leave them here as a defense? Hard to say. It's actually decent destroyers. Very decent destroyers. But it would be very, very good to actually have some submarine tenders down there, as I could actually use them, really use them. I mean, in all honesty, I could have the Rio de Janeiro actually operating down here without much in the way of issues. For example, I could actually have them set up shop over here at Funafuti without much in the way of issues. I'm kind of tempted actually to maybe even use the Kotori. Well, it depends on the actual situation. Janeiro. Yeah, I don't know how the hell we can pronounce that. I'm really bad at that, so... Oh, awesome there, dude. Okay. Yeah, we do have the Jingay over there. I might even have her move to Funafuti, to be honest. Let's see. Loving that endurance. Okay, what we're going to do here then is we'll have an escort of, let's say, about 2 patrol boats. It's obviously going to slow them down to a degree, but at least we do have a fair amount of firepower. Not much in the way of actual supplies here, so obviously they can't really function in their role. But we'll have supplies down in this area once we actually get down there. These guys aren't currently supply. We do have a Jingay with actual supply here. We could have them stop and pick up supply here, but there's not much in the way. There is about 18,000 tons of supply headed down to New Caledonia as we speak. Though I might have a Jingay actually brought alongside them. Actually, you know what? We'll bring her. I'm not actually doing anything with submarines here, am I? So might as well get them on their way. So we'll have them make way for Luganville as well. I know, right? Right, okay. So it's reducing their speed from 4 hexes per day to 3 hexes per day. But that's fine, so at least we are carrying some supply here. We are carrying an aircraft tender. We obviously have 2 submarine tenders over here, which is going to be really good. We can actually use them to actually look after our submarines down here as well. So once we have fuel in the area, we'll have the supply, so we can actually rearm and repair our submarines here in this area. So in reality, we can actually project our submarine arm really quite effectively down here into the Tasman Sea, the Bass Strait, and obviously around Australia for the most part. We'll go for that. Okay. Right, so you're aboard the actual AMC over there. Well, we're having them head down there to Luganville for the time being. I mean, I'd ideally like to base them out in New Mayo, to be honest. As obviously that's where I'm going to be able to build up my actual forces and defences there. But for the time being, we can have them actually move out there for just time being. I can even have them head over to Funafuti, but the thing is, obviously, that isn't as well defended. I'm moving them down here due to the fact that we'll have our defences down here, we'll have our logistics down here. We need our logistics to actually work to our aim. Well, our aims need to work to what we can manage for our logistics. I mean, this is absolute limit of our logistics and is incredibly straining on our logistics. And for example, I do have a replenishment convoy over here along with the seaplane carrier. Oh, right, they've actually just arrived. Okay, well, fantastic. I'm really actually glad I decided to check over here again. Awesome. Pretty damn handy about that. Well, pretty happy about that. So we do have the additional fuel here. I do have a Kargi Maroon. Do I keep them here in Japan? I'm not entirely sure. Do I want to keep them here in Japan, or do I want to actually have them out in the field? I'm not gonna lie, I do like the option. Oh yeah, they definitely are. The reason I'm thinking New May is because obviously that's where I'm going to be able to concentrate my defences. I mean, this obviously was the surface force over here based at Wakanai, but obviously we transferred them for the time being to obviously run this escort mission. Yeah, so we do have Yard Merchant Ship over here. I mean, I could bring potentially some AA with us, which could be quite handy. Let's actually take a look at what is unrestricted then. So we'll go to our army. Unrestricted is a engineer unit and the 2nd Reconnaissance Regiment. Yeah, they really are. They really, really are good for that. I love them for that. Okay, what I might do is actually pick up this unit over here. Yeah, we'll do that. So we do have the Subchaser CH-24. Have you based at Yokohama, Yokosuka? Have you head out there? Yeah, just patrol around Tokyo. Oops. Loving that endurance. And you come with aircraft, you don't unfortunately, but that's fine by me. So what we'll do here then is we're going to load up these troops over here. Yep, load them. Get them bloody well aboard. I'll allow them to take some supply as well, actually. Okay, so what we're going to do here then is we are going to bring about 34,500 units of fuel into the Pacific as well. And the good news is we'll actually have an additional seaplane carrier. I originally was considering actually holding them in Japan for a while, but considering the fact it's not going to be until later on in the year when we can actually convert them, yeah, December 1942. So the latter end of the year, we can actually convert them to light carriers, but we're not there yet. So in the meantime, if we can actually look after them, it would be very good. I mean, we could potentially even have like a carrier force actually served by the seaplane carriers. They're going to be super, super useful. So we'll make use of them. We need to make use of them. Yeah, she's carrying really good search planes here as well. Quite a good number of them. Definitely. How many aircraft can you actually handle aboard here? You do have capacity for an additional 5. Yeah, so what we'll do then is we'll throw a few more on board here. As many as we can actually handle. That's very good. Okay, so you're going to be heading south then. So that is the light cruiser Kiso. Yeah, she's also got a search plane. We also then do have the seaplane carrier. And 4 destroyers, so that's a fairly decent escort force. It's nice to actually have the seaplane carrier, so obviously we can operate underway reconnaissance, which is going to be absolutely amazing. Very, very good. If we take a look and make sure this is actually properly set up. Yep, 80-20, that is amazing. So that's going to be extremely handy for us. We'll be able to use that quite effectively. What I'm actually going to do here then, I do have a squadron of G4M1s over here, the Yokosuka KUK-1. And what I'm considering here is actually having them transferred over to this area here to actually run ASW missions. We do have a lot of submarines in this area, so we do need to try and actually destroy them for the most part. The pilots aren't... Some of them are, yep, and then the majority are pretty abysmal actually. But it's not going to be a bad idea. Currently they're transporting supplies to Chichijima, but that's obviously not a very good use of them. What we'll do here then is actually have them transferred to Nagasaki Sasebo. Oh, awesome, yeah, that's always a good thing too. Right, so they've been transferred over there. Actually, quite a few of them damaged on the way over. Surprising. But it won't take us long then. So what we'll do then is actually run the ASW patrols, run it about that, reset the archive it just at random, and yep, we'll run ASW in this area then. So alongside our actual patrols, and actually now with additional aircraft in the area, so that'll be quite good use of them. You're heading into here. What I wanted to do with these AMCs is really try to make their way down to like the Marianas, Caroline, and then really try and make them head down here to like Marshalls. I would like to actually try and mine certain important bases to really try and make it difficult for him, or even potentially even into the Dutch East Indies, but I thought they would be rather more useful out here and give us options to actually move them. So we do see a submarine over here moving southwest towards Bavaldois. The thing is, though, he's going to be running into this area, and he's going to be quite surprised considering the amount of actual ASW over here. I'll increase it yet further. There we go, using bombs, yep. Rather impressively, 2 squadrons of G4M1s over here. So that's going to be quite good. Been about 15 hexes out. Are your pilots in the Chinese theatre trained up yet? They do take a very long time. It's going to take us months to actually train them up to a sufficient degree. Yeah. So we just have to wait for that one. We do have the Ki-51 Sonoyas, which we were considering actually moving over to that area. I mean, I could have them move to Shanghai actually to run ASW efforts over that way. We do have only 56 air, well, yeah, support there. I do need to actually increase the garrison at Shanghai, actually. Yamagi. Is that Yamagiri Maru. Okay. Let's see. Temporary divisions there. Okay, yeah, so we do have more, but obviously they aren't able to be moved out. But we do have the AA, so let's take a look then at the artillery. Mortars, field artillery, AA, sorry. These guys are all in strategic. Okay. Yeah, these are very handy. I'd like to have them moved aboard an actual ship and moved out into the Pacific, to be honest. Okay, what is our supply situation like? So over here, Hankow, 12,000 units of supply. 2,800 units of supply over here at Wuchang. I'm actually going to use the Yamagiri to actually bring some additional supply over here to Wuchang. So we'll have her head into Shanghai to actually pick up some additional supply, then we'll move it upriver to Wuchang. Okay. Right. What we're going to do over here then, so we do have, well, one is sweeping, one is escorting. So let's take a look at the actual bombers, the actual state of them. They've had a couple more days to actually rest, and obviously our numbers of Ki-21s have taken a bloody huge beating. I mean, we lost about 40-50 to a goddamn mistake, which is unfortunate. Which I'm never going to stop moaning about, but hey, we made mistakes, and at least we know that THG will probably make some mistakes in the future as well. Let's see here. Which squadron should we go with? We'll go with one squadron, but the one with the most numbers. Morale's not too bad for them all, at least that morale's actually picked back up again. Yeah, they'll be ready mostly soon. We'll go with you then. So we'll run our ground pound then. We're going to hit Singapore. Now, it's not going to be a huge amount of them. I mean, what altitude should we go up against Singapore here, really? Obviously, we want to avoid most of that AA. Hard question, really. I mean, 15,000, it's not too bad, I suppose. We might, I don't know, I think that puts us out of range of the vast majority of their AA. We could potentially up it even further. I mean, it's hard to say really what sort of AA they actually do have. I wish I did have that information, as I could then try to figure out what altitude to actually run at. I think we do take flak at 15,000 feet, so we might consider actually upping it further, potentially. So, anti-aircraft weapons. Ceiling. Okay, so we can see these are the big guns. Yeah, so these big guns obviously have, like, phenomenal range. So you will have some guns like this, you might even potentially have them. So, I suppose the thing is, like, we're not going to be able to escape AA completely. We would have to be at nearly 50,000 feet to avoid all AA. So we're not going to be able to manage that. So I guess 15,000 feet puts us out of range. Well, actually, let's take a look. Where does it really drop off for the AA? Like, what's the difference between, like, the medium AA and, like, the heavy AA? Not that. Database. Right, okay. We could potentially try 20,000 feet, which puts us out of range of the vast majority of these AA. Well, a lot of the AA here, like a lot of the smaller AA. Then again, a lot of the smaller AA doesn't really have that sort of range. It's really only here from the 4cm to the 20... well, to these 8cm. Oh, here we go. We can actually see the 8cm dual-purpose guns. Okay, fantastic. So they actually do have some fairly... yeah, they're actually quite effective there. Quite nice. Not hugely... well, actually, no, that effectiveness is not particularly amazing, is it? That's only bloody 13. Nowhere near as good as the Bofors. Oh god, yeah, you can really see the difference here between, like, Japanese AA. Pretty bloody pathetic. I guess we'll try... I can see that there's 16,000 feet on here. We might... well, then again... I guess we'll try about 20,000 feet then. Puts us out of range of a lot of it. You can see the table equipment of the Singapore division of the tracker. True. But I'm a little bit too lazy to actually do that. I'm not gonna lie, I've got some food in my hand at the moment and I'm really hungry, actually. I'm kind of considering that we might have to make this a fourth part, actually, which is rather surprising, but then again, this is a very big turn. Okay, we'll run 20,000 feet. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, so 20,000 feet. Only 15 bombers, not a huge raid there. But at the end of the day, we'll punish him. 17k, perhaps? Yeah. We'll try 20, puts us out of range of most things, and obviously then they'll be able to operate at the same altitude as the A6M2s, which is obviously going to help out with the coordination dramatically. Right, escort, yeah. Fatigue's not too bad here. How about some of the actual aircraft itself? Well, the aircraft themselves. Not too particularly bad. I could obviously put some into reserve Right, so you're going to be running escorts to allow them all to go out there. What's the distance here? 9 hexes. Do we need to run that? Then again, they are on the maximum limit of their arrangement, so yeah, I guess we do need to. Right, the sweep. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we're going to go in at 20,000 feet then over Singapore. It's only a couple bombers, but at the end of the day, the idea is not going to be to knock out the airfield, as we can't really do that, but to actually hit his actual aircraft over here while they're actually on the ground. If his fighters aren't in the air, we'll punish them for that. At the end of the day, he's really going to have like a choice of either moving to different air bases or fighters in the air, but the thing is we're going to have like 80 fighters here. So we'll take the fight to him. Okay. Right. So, yeah, what we're going to do then is we are going to have to, unfortunately, make this into a fourth part. I can only apologise there, guys. I suppose it's going to be quite a long turn. In reality, though, there's not particularly much left to do here. I'd carry on, but I've got some amazing Thai food here, and, I'm finding it hard to talk because I keep, like, salivating, and it's really getting quite difficult to speak because I'm like, so hungry. So I'd like to say thank you so very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. It has been an absolute pleasure. I mean, we should probably be able to finish the turn tomorrow. More than likely. So, I'd like to say a big thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed this, then please do consider supporting myself on Patreon. It supports myself and the channel. It does make a big old difference and really does allow me to continue to live my passion here and hopefully give you guys some rather entertaining content. So, until next time, goodbye for now, guys. Yeah, I know, right, Tortuga? Thai food is amazing. It's from a place in York called Khao San Road, and oh my god, it's fucking fantastic. Okay, guys, until later, goodbye for now. Have a fantastic day, evening, twilight, whatever you'd like to say. I know, right? It really is appropriate, isn't it? Until next time, guys, you've been fantastic. Goodbye for now.